This is the fourth move in Belgium. $100,000 is on the line. Young Magnus is playing with the CARO KANN pyramid. His opponent, Anish Giri, a super GM who took my pawns. And with bishop e2, Anish believes he is launching an inevitable attack on Magnus. Would you believe me if I said he will resign in only 15 moves without even seeing the black king? Welcome to GM Chess. If you keep getting demolished on chess.com, you have come to the right place. In the next 5 minutes, you will learn the CARO KANN defense, which will skyrocket your elo above 1200. But more importantly, you will learn how to turn tables on aggressive opponents. To begin with, let's break down some chess fundamental rules for starting a game. At the start of every game, you want to develop your minor pieces, especially the knights and pawns, to control the center and castle right after. However, on the other hand, we will spend the first 4 moves building a pyramid and developing our light squared bishop. The dirtiest thing about this video is I'll teach you how to delay castling. That's because it gets most of the players even up to 2000 rated. This king is absolutely safe here in the center. But there's one problem. This structure is somewhat not active. Some aggressive players will try to attack it, whether they break through, attack the pyramid and threaten king attack, or you spill the tea and launch an unstoppable attack towards the other side. It all totally depends on just one chess skill: pawn breaks. A pawn break is a move that forces a pawn trade, which leads to pawn structural changes and sometimes damaged structures. Moves like c5, f6, even f4 if you allow it, can be a disaster for our position. The thing is, which move do you play to break pawns and when? That chess knowledge is what separates GMs like Magnus Carlsen from bozos like you and I. But don't worry, by the end of this video you will definitely learn something new. And if you have already learned something, a sub to the channel would be amazing. Enjoy the video. Bishop before check by Magnus Carlsen, the greatest chess player of all time. c3 block, and in the next few moves the dark squared bishop is pushed back to c7. After which Magnus Carlsen goes on to play the first pawn break, f6. But why? Why not any other pawn break? Let's break it down. First, you analyze your position, which way your pieces are pointing at. Because after playing a pawn break on one side of the board, you have to play the whole game on that side of the board. Secondly, pawn breaks opens files and diagonals. So if e5 takes f6, this diagonal is now open and this bishop becomes active, and moves like knight to g5 can cause serious troubles in white's position. Thirdly, keep in mind the king's safety. After f6 pawn break, you have to ask yourself how comfortable my king is. Due to white's closed pawn structure, I don't see any attack anytime soon. Magnus thought of all this in a fraction of a second. They call it intuition, a skill you should develop. Anish Giri plays rook e1, threatening an attack on Carlsen's king. Here Magnus played a weird move, knight to h6. It's a decent way to develop your knight if and only if white's bishop is inactive. After knight f1 and takes, Magnus allows Anish to take his knight by castling. Why? Black's king is still perfectly safe here because of the central pyramid. Well, it's almost gone now. The pawns stop the bishop and queen from launching an attack on this diagonal. If this was an open central position, Magnus would be losing right now because of this open diagonal. So the first move you spend building the pyramid allows you to give the king some freedom and attacking potential to your king side pieces. Queen to d4. Giri is planning to access Carlsen's king side, a plan which is instantly shut down after bishop e4. Knight g3 hits this bishop. After pawn c5 and queen e3, Magnus trades his light squared bishop, but without making Anish's center a bad place. At this level of chess, being up a pawn is usually enough to win the game. Carlsen's offer a king trade. After takes, Anish is now targeting black's weakness. Rook e8 protects it. Rook e2 seems to create a double rook attack. Well, now Anish has lost his pawn. Knight takes, and after a few moves are played, Anish resigns. Yes, Anish's position is nowhere near resignable, but you're a pawn down against Magnus Carlsen. Would you blame Anish if you were there? I hope this chess game analysis helps you in your chess career. Thanks for watching this video. Peace. I'm out.